Have you ever think of how a restaurant, for example, McDonald's, get their clean stuff? For example, the hand soap, because they can go to Walmart, they can go to any market to get them. So that's basically a contract, a negotiation that they have with another business, and this is called B2B. Um, if you want to work in business, sales, management, or purchasing, it is important to understand how companies buy from other companies. Buying decisions are different because they depend on the type of market, the type of buyers, and the people involved in the decision. Today, we will go over what is the B2B market, the different type of buyers and buying situations, and how companies make buying decisions. We're going to start with the first point, that is the B2B market. B2B transaction happens when one business sells products or services to another business. That's why it's called B2B, business to business. And some important characteristics of the B2B markets are, we are going to go over three. Is a bit different of from business to customer. The first characteristic is that purchases are usually larger and more expensive. This is because, for example, let's say McDonald's, they have a lot of restaurants, and they can't purchase just one, for example, hand soap. They need to purchase a lot because they have a lot of customers every day, and definitely they're going to need more than, let's say, one house, for example. There are fewer buyers, but they buy bigger amounts. Again, it's kind of the same example. Um, of course, there's a small amount of restaurants that have this purchase, but they purchase a big amount of products. And we have business often build long-term relationship with suppliers. This is really important because you as an owner, you need to understand that you can contract any supplier. You need to know their quality, the time that they take to provide you with the products. Basically, you need to have a reliable supplier, so you can make sure that you're going to have products and quality. We're going to move with the point number 2 for today, buyers and buying situations. There are four main types of B2B buyers. The first one is producers, companies that buy materials to make the products. For example, if I'm the owner of Toyota, I buy the steel to make my cars. Resellers, business that buy products and sell them again to make profit. I think it's very self-explained. People or companies that buys product and resell it to a different rate. Government, public agencies that buy products and services. And institution, non-profit organization like hospitals, schools, and churches. There are also three types of buying situations that are straight rebuy, buying the same product again with lightly thought. Basically, purchase the same thing again. You have your supplier, you have your negotiation, just have one purchase again of the same things. Modify rebuy a product again, but changing something like the supplier or rate or price. This is, for example, if I notice that the price of the steels went down, I will try to negotiate with my supplier, or if they are not willing to negotiate, I definitely can go and look for another supplier. And the new task buy. This is basically any first purchase that you have of any kind of material that you need. Of course, you are not going to purchase with the first supplier that you find. You're going to have research and then look for the best supplier, taking in consideration quality, times, and everything to have the best supplier. We're going to move with the point number 3. Let me give the mic to Jonathan.
And in that world, we can find different buyer people, different type of buyers, and different buyer situations. For example, we can divide the buyer types in 3 simple main types. The first are producers, the people who purchase goods and raw materials to manufacture other products. The second one could be the resellers, wholesalers and retailers that buy final productions and goods to resell them to profit, and the governments or the institutions that non-profits entities such as hospitals, universities, and religious organizations that buy the products, And we can divide the situations of buying in 3 different main situations. The first is the straight buy. That's a routine reorder of familiar products with little or none evaluation. The second one is a modify and rebuy, is when existing a purchase where a price, supplier, or specifications needs to be revisited, and the new task buy. The first time that you purchase any product or any service and you require the extensive research, evaluation, and decisions to making. For example, if you had to buy paper for your office and you every month buy paper for your office, that probably is an straight rebuy. But if you had to switch your cloud-based system to other, that's a new task buy because you requirement in many cases months of evaluation of all the options that you have. And we can find the buying centers too. And most B2B organizations' purchasing decisions are made in collectively by a buyer center or a group of people who each play a specific role in that process. We have the initiators, that's the people who identify the needed for a product or service. We have the users too, here as the people who will actually use that purchasing product in their day to work. We have the influencers of technical experts in that area, in the area of that product, of that service, to consultants who people to help define the product specification that the organizations need. We have the deciders too, have a formal or informal authority to make the final purchase decisions. And we have the buyers, handle the administrative aspects and negotiating terms with the suppliers or with the organization that will sell you the service of the product. And the gatekeepers is the people who have the control to flow of information that and among members of buying centers. Pausa. For example, if you will, before pitching an enterprise software, a sales team maps on the buying center to identify that key deciders and influencers before making their decisions or presentations. In conclusions, we have covered the different characteristics of B2B market, the 3 types of organization buyers and the 3 buy classes, and the 6 roles within a buyer center. B2B purchasing is driven by organization structures, formal buying process, and collective decisions made through the buying center. Understanding how businesses buy gives marketer and salespeople the strategic tools to build the right relationships with the right people and at the right time.